Means that do it. Burger
Welcome to the second hour of Air Checks. The Great Gildersleeve is a radio situation comedy broadcast from August 31, 1941, to March 21, 1957. Initially written by Leonard Lewis Levinson, it was one of broadcast history's earliest spin-off programs. The series was built around the character Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, a regular element of the radio situation comedy Fibber McGee and Molly. The character was introduced in the October 3, 1939 episode, number 216, of that series. The Great Gildersleeve enjoyed its greatest popularity in the 1940s. Actor Harold Peary played the character during its transition from the parent show into the spin-off and later in 4 feature films released at the height of the show's popularity. In Fibber McGee and Molly, Peary's Gildersleeve had been a pompous windbag and nemesis of Fibber McGee. "You're a ha-a-a-a-ard man, McGee," became a Gildersleeve catchphrase. The character went by several aliases on Fibber McGee and Molly. His middle name was revealed to be Philharmonic in Gildersleeve's Diary episode on October 22, 1940. Gildy grew so popular that Kraft Foods, promoting its Parquet margarine, sponsored a new series featuring Peary's somewhat mellowed and always befuddled Gildersleeve as the head of his own family. Here's the Haunted House episode from May 16, 1943.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company will also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night. Present each week at this time Harold Peary as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, I think most homemakers listening in will agree that between rising food costs and red stamp rationing, it's getting to be more and more of a problem to satisfy family appetites. Well, if that's the case in your house, one good way to practice true economy is to place Parquet, the quality margarine made by Kraft, at the top of your grocery shopping list. For Parquet margarine requires just 5 red ration points, and it's just about the finest flavored spread for bread your family ever tasted. What's more, Parquet is a delicious seasoning for everyday hot-cooked vegetables, a real flavor shortening for baking. And you'll especially like it for pan frying because it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. Yes, the family will like Parquet for appetizing flavor and for wonderful nourishment, too. It's one of the best energy foods you can serve, and every pound contains 9,000 units of vitamin A. So for flavor, for economy, and for good nutrition, ask your dealer for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Now on to Summerfield, where we join that illustrious citizen and industrious lover, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. And where do we find him? Well, love is funny. The door that yesterday was slammed in your face today flies open at your approach. And so we discover the great Gildersleeve and his lady love once more together, seated on the sofa in his living room, gazing into the future and laying plans for the event that is shortly to make him the happiest man in the world.
Leela.
Yes, Throckmorton.
A penny for your thoughts.
Oh, gracious. My poor little old thoughts, they're hardly worth a penny.
Well, you know me. I'm a spendthrift.
Silly. I'll tell you what I was thinking, though. I was thinking you and I are going to have to go and look at furniture one of these days soon.
Furniture? What for, Leela? I've got more furniture now than you can sit on.
Well, I know, Throckmorton, but after all...
What's the matter with it?
Well, I guess there's nothing really the matter with it, but it just hasn't any style.
Oh, now.
It's true, Throckmorton. Take that easy chair there.
That's my chair.
I know, and look at it.
What's the matter with that chair? I like it.
Oh, but look at the shape of it, that short little back and that great enormous seat.
Well... There's always a reason for everything, Leela.
You know, the trouble with you, Throckmorton, you've been a bachelor so long you're set in your ways.
No,
Yes, you are. But after we're married, things will have to be a little different. Now, this house, for instance.
All right, I'll admit the house needs painting. That's all right with me.
Well, that's not quite what I was thinking, Throckmorton.
No? What were you thinking?
Well, you know that big white house on the edge of town out toward the country club? The one that's sort of set back among the trees with a big lawn in front?
You mean the old Burton place?
I guess so, yes. Well, I understand it's for sale.
Of course it's for sale. It's been empty for 3 years. Leela, you weren't thinking of moving out of this house.
Well, it's a nice house and all, Throckmorton, but it is kind of old-fashioned.
I like it.
Well, it's old-fashioned without being really antique, if you know what I mean.
I like it.
I just thought you're doing so well now and all. And Judge Hooker says he frankly doesn't think this place is suitable for a man of your position in this town.
Oh, he doesn't. Well, you tell Judge Hooker not to worry himself about me. I'm not moving out of this house no matter what he thinks.
Even if you knew that...
No, that's my final answer, Leela. I wouldn't even consider it.
Well, all right, darling. If that's the way you feel about it, I won't say another word.
I hope you don't think I'm just being stubborn.
Darling, the house is already forgotten. All I want in the world is for you to be happy. You know that. After all, you're my lord and master. Or you soon will be.
Lord and master. And give me a kiss.
Throckmorton.
Yes, honey.
Would you do something for me?
Anything, my love.
Something awfully sweet.
Anything. What is it?
Would you shave off your mustache?
Shave it off, but Leela.
Just to see how it would be. You can't tell. It might make you look younger.
Younger?
Yes. You don't want people to think of me as an old man's darling.
Leela, you don't think of me as old.
Of course not, Throckmorton, but I'd just like to see how you'd look without it.
No, sir. Nothing doing. I just wouldn't be me without my mustache, Leela.
Very well. In that case, would you kindly move over, Throckmorton, and give me a little room on this sofa?
Oh, now, Leela.
You said you'd do anything I asked. You promised.
Leela, why do you have to change everything? Can't you love me the way I am?
Well, I don't think you can love me very much. All I ask you to do is to shave off a little old mustache. I'm not asking you to buy any new furniture. I'm not asking you to move.
All right.
Besides, it tickles.
All right, Leela, all right. I'll shave it off. Delilah.
Well, good morning, Mr. Gildersleeve. Wasn't expecting to see you for another week or 10 days.
I know, but here I am. Floyd, I want you to shave off my mustache.
What?
You heard me. Let's get at it because I'm a busy man.
All right, Commissioner, but I don't mind telling you I hate to do it.
Never mind that. Lather me up.
Okay, you're the doctor, but I'll tell you why I say that. It was some years ago when I had my other shop over in Ashton. One day a fellow come in. He was quite a character in town, sort of public figure, a little on the stout side, like yourself.
I suppose what's under your vest is laundry.
No offense, Mr. Gildersleeve, no offense, but this fellow'd been wearing a mustache all his life, 30 or 40 years. And all of a sudden he come in and asked me to shave it off.
That's why I came in, too.
Oh, in 2 shakes. Have to strop a little. Of course, I was just a young fellow then. I didn't know what I know now. Full of beans and no brains. So I never gave it a second thought. Just went right ahead and shaved his mustache like it was hay.
Come on, Floyd. I haven't got all day.
When I was through, the fellow took one look at himself. Then he put his hand over his face, ran out of the shop, tore down to the depot and bought a ticket and left town in the next train. He didn't come back till 3 months later, and by that time he had a new mustache. I was the only fellow in town that ever saw him without it, and he never spoke to me again. So I hate to shave off your mustache, Mr. Gildersleeve, but here she goes.
Floyd, let's not rush into this thing, huh?
No, sir?
No, just trim off a little at each end so I can see how that'll look, huh?
Oh, slow and easy. I got you, Mr. Gildersleeve. About this much, say?
A little less.
About this much.
A little more. There.
Uh-huh. All right, now sit still. There. Now, if you cover up the other end with your finger, you can get an idea.
I'm afraid to look, Floyd. Go ahead and even her up.
All right, now sit still. There. Well, how do you like it?
I don't know. What do you think, Floyd?
It's hard to say. Makes you look different, all right. Well, if it ain't Judge Hooker, come on in, Judge.
Morning, Floyd. Well, Gildersleeve, what on earth? Whose idea was this, your lady friend?
Never mind, Hooker.
Maybe I better call her up and tell her to get ready for a shot.
You stay away from her. You've made enough trouble already.
What do you mean?
What's the idea of putting bees in her bonnet about my house not being good enough for me?
I didn't say it wasn't good enough for you. I said it wasn't good enough for a man with political ambition.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it seems obvious enough. Man wants to be president. It's all right to be born in a log cabin, but the time comes when he has to get out of it. Isn't that right, Floyd?
Well,
You stay out of this, Floyd.
Uh-huh.
In the first place, Hooker, I'm not in politics. In the second place, the voters choose a man for his ideas, not his residence.
Maybe so, Gilder, maybe so. But look at Congressman Abernathy. His house looks exactly like Thomas Jefferson's, and that impresses the voters, doesn't it, Floyd?
Well,
You stay out of this.
Uh-huh.
Hooker, when I get ready to run for Congress, I'll buy a Jeffersonian house. Until then...
All right, Gildy, all right. But there's a house on the market now that'll be just right. May not be there by the time you throw your hat in the ring. They're talking about you for Congress in 44, you know.
They are?
Definitely.
Who?
I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But if you were to get your hands on that old Burton place...
Well, maybe I'll think it over, Judge. So long, and thanks for the tip.
Mr. Gildersleeve, did you say tip?
What? Here you are, Floyd.
What's going on?
Going on? What are you talking about, Leroy?
Somebody's been sabotaging your mustache.
Yes. I simply had a trim. Is supper ready?
Any minute, Bertie says.
Very well. Come in and sit down here for a moment, my boy. I want to talk to you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Gosh, Unc, I don't think you got a thing on me right now.
I'm not accusing you of wrongdoing, young man. Is that the only subject you can think of for conversation with me?
Well, it seems to come up pretty often. But if you just want chit-chat, I'll tell you about the horror picture I saw this afternoon. The Mummy's Claw.
I don't want any chit-chat.
It's about a mummy that came back to life as a zombie.
That's enough of that.
But, Unc...
Leroy, I want to ask you a question. Are you happy here in this house?
Well, sure. Yeah, I like it fine, Unc. You're not thinking of throwing me out, are you?
No, Leroy, I loved you very dearly. Some of the time. What I want to know is, would you like it if we moved to some other house, in another neighborhood?
And not live near Piggy and the gang?
Well, you can still see him now and then.
Oh, please, Unc, we don't want to move. It's swell here. Hello, Uncle Mort. What about supper?
Any minute, Marjorie. I was just talking to Leroy.
You look peculiar, Uncle Mort. What have you done to yourself?
Nothing.
It's his mustache.
Well, it gets awfully hot in the summer, Margie, so I just thought...
Oh, I think it looks cute.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Marge, you don't want to move to a new house, do you?
New house? Now what's got into you?
To me, nothing. It's Uncle Mort.
Leroy, I'll handle this.
Well, what is this? You're not thinking of leaving this house.
Well, not exactly, my dear. It was, I just wanted to get your reaction.
Oh, but Uncle Mort, I've lived in this house for more than 20 years. Leroy was born here. I love it. I love every room, every squeaky board in the stairs, every rattle in the window.
All right, my dear, all right. I just thought you might like a little more room. The old Burton house, for instance.
Burton's? Oh, my gosh, Unc, it's got 3 acres of lawn.
Uncle Mort, it's miles from anywhere.
Oh, it's not so far.
Oh, I know why you're thinking about moving. Leela Ransom wants to live in the Burton house. That's what it is.
Oh, but Marjorie, it was just a suggestion.
I bet it was her idea, fooling with your mustache, too. I don't like that now, either.
Supper's ready.
My dear, if you don't want to, we won't move to the Burton house.
My land, did you say moving to Burton house?
And now, Bertie.
Because if you're going to live in that house, you have to revise your kitchen personnel.
Hey!
But, Bertie, what's the matter with the Burton house?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I don't want you to think I'm superstitious, but that house is haunted.
It's haunted? Why, that's nonsense. Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, everybody knows that old Mr. Burton shot old Miss Burton in that house, and one time I was walking past it with a gentleman friend, and we heard the scariest noise I ever heard in my life.
What kind of a noise, Bertie?
Well, like something out of this world.
Leroy!
That's the exact sound, Leroy.
Sure, that's the noise of a zombie that used to be a mummy.
Stop it, Leroy. That's horrible. Bertie, when you and your gentleman friend heard this sound, didn't he investigate?
No, sir. By the time he caught up with me, we was 2 miles away.
I'll go.
Fine time for anybody to be calling on us.
Oh, hello, Judge.
By George, here he is at supper time again. Hello, Judge.
I can't stay, Throckmorton. I stopped in to tell you I just found out the Burton estate would be willing to make a substantial reduction on that.
Judge, I've decided not to go into that any further.
Oh, so it was Judge Hooker's idea for us to move. What's going on here?
What do you mean, my dear?
Why is everybody trying to get us out of this house?
Now, Marjorie, I just found out that the Burton estate is willing to make your uncle a very favorable offer.
Estate? By George, I begin to see the light. Estates have executors, don't they, Judge?
Why, of course they do, you darn fool. What's that got to do with it?
I dare say the executor of this particular estate would make a pretty penny in fees if this particular house were sold, would he not?
It's just a set fee prescribed by statute.
Answer my question.
I did.
All right. Now, who is the executor of this estate?
Now, Gildy, that's neither here nor there. It just happens this particular executor prefers to remain anonymous.
Oh, he does, eh? This particular executor wouldn't happen to be named Horace W. Hooker, would he, Horace Hooker?
Well, it just happens.
Case dismissed. Let's get to dinner.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few seconds. Meanwhile, if you've noticed that it's a case of first come, first served at your neighborhood grocery store, you've probably taken the hint and planned your shopping early in the day and early in the week. That's the best way to provide variety and balance in family meals. And it's also good insurance that your dealer will have on hand the outstanding red stamp values like Parquet, the quality margarine made by Kraft. Parquet sells very fast these days, and no wonder. Millions of people have found that for just 5 red ration points, they can buy a pound of a fine-tasting spread for bread that's also a delicious seasoning for cooked vegetables. They've learned, too, that Parquet margarine is a real flavor shortening for home baking, and that it's grand for pan frying. Now, it's the growing popularity of Parquet margarine in your neighborhood, combined with wartime shortages, have made your dealer supply run out. Ask him for Parquet again soon, for Kraft is doing everything possible to keep all dealers supplied. Ask for Parquet, the vitamin A fortified energy spread. Spelled P-A-R-K-A-Y. Parquet margarine. Now let's get back to Summerfield, where a picnic seems to be afoot. It's a lovely Saturday morning, and Leela Ransom, who proposed the idea, has promised to lead the way to an ideal spot, complete with brook.
Come on, Leroy, and watch that hook.
Okay, Uncle Bertie, get ready to cook plenty of fish tonight. You've never tasted fish like I'm going to catch.
No, and you ain't never caught 'em.
Come on, Leroy. I told Mrs. Ransom I'd be over there at 11:30.
I'll be right with you. Let me see now. Have I got everything? Fishing rod, reel, bait, hooks, bobber,
Come on.
stout knife, canteen, folding camp kit. Where's my camp kit?
Leroy, we're only going for the afternoon.
I know. Oh, here it is. Now, spyglass, compass.
Compass. The place is only a mile from here. We can't get lost.
Flash. I forgot my flashlight.
Leroy, we will be back before supper.
I know. I just like to take it.
That Leroy sure gets excited. He's going to burn himself out before he's 15.
Yeah. What does he want to drag all that stuff along for? I'm late now.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you sure you don't want me to pack nothing for you?
No, Bertie. Mrs. Ransom said she wanted to make the lunch.
Yes, sir. I just wondered, does she know your capacity?
Huh? Well, I wouldn't worry much about that.
You wouldn't want me to just wrap up a few pieces of chocolate cake. I got one just fresh out the oven.
You have, huh? Well, that sounds mighty good, Bertie. I might just call her up and ask her, huh?
After all, you got to have something to keep body and soul together.
Yeah. Hello. Leela? Pooji. I just called Huh? Oh, we will, Leela. We'll be right over. I'm just waiting for Leroy. He's gone to find a Huh? Oh, I see. I guess I misunderstood, Leela. Oh, sure. Sure, I think it'd be nicer that way. I'll fix it.
Leroy, coming in on a wing and a prayer.
All set, Unc. Let's go.
Oh, Leroy, I'm afraid there's been a little misunderstanding, my boy. It's my fault. You see, I thought you were invited.
You mean I can't go with you? I can't go on the picnic?
It's all my fault, my boy, and I'm sorry.
Gosh, I never even used my folding camp kit.
I know, and I'll make it up to you, Leroy, some way. You see, Mrs. Ransom and I have a lot of things to talk over. You know, about weddings and such.
Yeah, it's okay, Unc. It's okay.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you get Piggy and go on a picnic of your own?
Well, it's an idea.
Leroy, you come with me. I'm going to fix you up a nice picnic lunch with all the things you like.
Yeah, do that, Bertie. That'll be great. Huh, Leroy?
Yes, sir. And ain't no grown-ups going to get none of that chocolate cake, neither, no matter how much they come begging around.
Oh, now, Bertie, just one little piece.
No, sir, not one. Now, you go on out of here and leave me and Leroy alone.
I'm going, Bertie. By George, I envy you, Leroy. All that delicious cake. I wish I were going with you and Piggy. That's what I wish.
I wish you were too, Unc.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Gosh.
Now, Leroy, it wasn't your uncle's fault.
I know whose fault it was. Invites you to a picnic and then changes her mind. What a character. I bet she's going to drag him out there and try to sell him that house again.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't worry. She won't get away with it.
Martin, don't you want me to help you carry that heavy old basket?
Why, this is nothing at all, Leela. I could carry it with my little finger.
Well, don't try. There's a thermos bottle in it. Oh, you don't mind if I stop in here for a minute at the drugstore?
Oh, not at all.
I'll get all freckly if I don't, and you wouldn't love me with freckles on my nose, would you, Throckmorton?
Hello, Mrs. Ransom.
Morning, Mr. Peavy.
And Mr. Gildersleeve. Quite a little gathering.
Lovely day, isn't it, Mr. Peavy?
It is indeed. Well, I see you're carrying a picnic basket there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah. Yeah, picnic basket.
Going on a picnic?
Yeah. Peavy, you're positively psychic.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that. Mrs. Peavy is the psychic member of the family.
Mrs. Peavy is psychic?
Off and on, yes. She has what is called second sight.
Second sight? That stuff is a lot of bunk.
Well, now, I don't know, Mr. Gildersleeve. Mrs. Peavy does some pretty strange things. She often sees things that are coming.
Did she see you coming?
Mr. Gildersleeve. But I'll tell you, one experience of hers is pretty hard to explain. Mrs. Peavy had a dream one night.
Everybody has dreams. I have them all the time.
I know. But...
Even cats have dreams.
I wouldn't care to dispute you on that, Mr. Gildersleeve. But I was telling you about Mrs. Peavy. She dreamed one night that there was a very bad thunderstorm.
Yes?
Well, as a housewife, Mrs. Ransom, I don't have to tell you what a thunderstorm does to milk.
Turns it sour.
Exactly.
I suppose the next morning you woke up and the milk was sour.
No, stranger than that. The next morning, the milkman delivered us a bottle of buttermilk by mistake.
Peavy, I wouldn't have believed it if you hadn't told me yourself.
And that's not all.
Huh?
The night Mrs. Peavy dreamed about the thunderstorm, there was a thunderstorm.
Oh, so she wasn't dreaming at all.
That's what I say. There are a lot of things in this world you can't explain.
Peavy, if you believe that, you believe anything. I suppose you believe in ghosts, too.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't say I don't either.
I suppose you believe this story about the old Burton place now being haunted.
The Burton place haunted?
Well, people have heard some strange things going on in there.
Why, nonsense. Just because a man happens to murder his wife, what's strange about that?
Murder?
Well, that was some years ago, Leela. Don't tell me you're superstitious, too.
Oh, gosh, now, Throckmorton, don't be silly. Well, shall we be going?
Oh, yes, let's get started.
Oh, gracious, I'm forgetting what I came in for. I'd like a jar of your cucumber sunburn cream, please.
Yeah, sorry, Mrs. Ransom, but we've had a little more demand for that than we expected. We've just run out of it.
Oh.
You must have run out of second sight at the same time, Peavy. Goodbye.
Goodbye, folks. Have a nice picnic.
Leela, you're wonderful. You know, I never realized you were such a wonderful cook.
Why, the only thing we had that was cooked, Throckmorton, was the hard-boiled eggs.
I know, but they were wonderful.
Well, I must say I never saw a man put away so many. Are you sure you had enough?
I couldn't eat another thing. Why, have you got some left over?
No. Well, what shall we do now? I'll tell you what. I'll race you down to the brook.
Oh, Leela, race. I couldn't.
I'll bet you can't catch me, Throckmorton.
Oh, don't, Leela. I'm too full. Come back over here and lie down on the grass beside me.
All right, then.
Right here, huh?
Oh, this is nice. Look at those clouds up there. Aren't they beautiful?
Uh-huh.
Like little woolly lambs.
Uh-huh.
Throckmorton.
Uh-huh.
What are you thinking?
I wish I'd eaten one less pickle.
Oh, this is no time to be thinking about pickles. Isn't it gorgeous up here on this hill?
Oh, yes, it is.
And isn't it a gorgeous view?
Yes, it is. Gorgeous.
And that little clump of trees down below there with a white house nestling among them.
Gorgeous.
Throckmorton, you know what? I believe that's the Burton house.
Huh? Yeah, I guess it is.
What do you say on our way home if we stop off and just peek into it?
Now, Leela, you know what you said.
I know, but we have to pass there anyway, just for a minute.
But we couldn't see anything, Leela. It's all boarded up.
Yes, I suppose it is. You know what? I believe... Wait till I look in my handbag. Yes, sir. Now, what do you think of that?
What?
I just happen to have a key to the house. Judge Hooker left it with me.
Yeah?
Now, isn't that a coincidence?
All right. Let's get it over with. Yes, Leela?
Come in here. Come see what I found.
Oh? Where are you?
In here.
Yeah, looks as if somebody's broken in here, Leela. All this mess around.
Now, wait a minute. Close your eyes.
Why?
I want this to be a surprise. Let me take your hand.
No tricks now.
All right. Open them. Now, this would be your den.
Looks like the House of Representatives to me.
Don't you like it?
It's too big, Leela. The whole place is too big.
Oh, but I think it has charm, Throckmorton. I think it has definite charm.
Yeah, it has gloom, too. It's as dark as your hat in here.
Well, the shutters are closed, silly.
I know, but I like a place with plenty of light, Leela. I like a place with people around.
Did you hear something just then?
Sounded like something falling.
Throckmorton, where did he do it?
What?
Mr. Burton, where did he shoot Mrs. Burton?
How do I know? I wasn't there. I mean here.
Oh, this time I know I heard something.
Now, Leela, don't get frightened. After all, you're with me.
Oh, I wish we'd never come in here. I wish I'd... Listen, it's in that closet.
What?
Whatever it is, it's in that closet.
Yeah.
Take me out of here. Take me out of here.
Yeah, all right, Leela, but first I'm going to lock that thing in the closet.
Oh, darling,
Oh, I'm not afraid. There.
Oh, Throckmorton, come quickly, please.
Never fear, my dear. As long as you're with me, you've got nothing to be afraid of. Shall we go?
Oh, yes. I never want to come near this house again as long as I live. Throckmorton, let's get away from this awful place.
Leela, you stay here. Now that you're safe, I'm going back in the house.
And leave me alone here?
Oh, you'll be perfectly safe here. And I'm going back there and find out what that was.
Oh, Throckmorton, I wish you wouldn't.
Remember, if anything happens, Judge Hooker has my will.
Now be careful, you hear?
I'll bet that kid was scared to death when he heard me lock the door. But he thought I was never coming back. All right, Leroy. You can come out now, Leroy. Leroy, come out of there. Leroy. It's empty. That's funny. Could have sworn it was Leroy. Sounded like Leroy. Oh, my goodness. Leroy!
Oh, what a character. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Music heard on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweet. If you'd like to see pictures of the Great Gildersleeve and some of the members of the cast, they're in the current issue of Radio Mirror. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
One of the wartime problems you homemakers face is that of keeping meals from seeming skimpy. So here's a suggestion. When you're planning a vegetable dinner or when you have just a small amount of meat for the family, serve the vegetables or meat in a cream sauce in the center of a delicious macaroni and cheese ring. And make that ring the quick way with Kraft Dinner. Each Kraft Dinner package contains a special macaroni and some Kraft grated. Just 7 minutes cooking, and you have fluffy, tender macaroni with cheese goodness through and through. For the ring, you merely press the hot Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese in a mold for just a moment. Still easier is Kraft Dinner served as is without fixings. Kraft Dinner is nourishing, economical, and so good. A box of it gives enough macaroni and cheese for a family of 4 and takes just one single red ration point. Notice that, one red ration point for Kraft Dinner. Ask your dealer for Kraft Dinner soon. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
That was the Haunted House episode from May 16, 1943. There will be another Haunted House episode in 1949. But first, let's take a look at the Lost Boy of Halloween from the Great Gildersleeve program. In the October 31, 1951 episode Lost Boy on Halloween, Gildersleeve found his plans for a date and a party sponsored by the Jolly Boys put aside when he and his friends try to help a lost boy get home.
The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, partially transcribed, by the Kraft Foods Company. And Kraft, you know, makes the famous pasteurized processed cheese food Velveeta. Velveeta has a wonderful cheddar cheese flavor that's rich yet delightfully mild. It's delicious, and it's the finest quality cheese food you can buy because it's made by Kraft, the name that for years has meant only the finest in cheese and cheese foods. Get a package or loaf of Velveeta tomorrow and enjoy the cheese food of top quality Velveeta, made only by Kraft. Well, there's a nip in the air this morning. The shocks of yellowing corn are frosty in the fields. The pumpkins have been harvested and given faces with toothy grins, for it's Halloween. In the schools, the children are fidgeting at their desks with impish gleams in their eyes, waiting for darkness to fall. In Floyd's barber shop, the Great Gildersleeve is getting himself a Halloween haircut.
Careful with the scissors, Floyd.
I'm watching, Commish.
Floyd, what'll we jolly boys do tonight?
If you don't hold your head still, the rest of us might be attending a wake.
Well, it's Halloween. We should do something special.
You mean you ain't booked for tonight?
What do you mean by that?
Well, since that classy Mrs. Winthrop come to town, you ain't had time for us jolly boys.
Yeah, Floyd, you know the club comes first with me.
Gee, I thought sure you'd be stepping out.
Well, she's busy. Yeah, I mean, she's going to a shindig at the country club.
Ah, and you ain't invited, huh? You mean all my tonsorial skill has went for no avail?
Well, I'm afraid so, Floyd. We fellas should be able to cook up something.
Well, we can come down to the club and sing.
We'll be minus our bass. Police Chief Gates has to be on duty tonight to keep an eye on the kids.
Yeah. When we was kids, we used to give our constable a bad time.
Yeah, I guess we all did.
I remember one Halloween we soaped the windshield of his old Model T and dared him to catch us.
You were asking for it, Floyd.
Nah, we had an ace up our sleeve. He jumped in the car and took off, but we had his rear axle chained to a fire hydrant.
Oh, my goodness.
You should be glad you wasn't the water commissioner that night. Well, there you are, Commish. You want to look at yourself in the mirror or just go out happy?
Yeah, it looks fine. You know, Floyd, I have an idea.
No kidding.
Why don't we Jolly Boys throw a party for the kids tonight? They'll enjoy it, and we'll help keep them out of mischief.
Oh, let them live, Commish.
No, Floyd, a lot of communities do things like this. We can stock the club with apples, noisemakers, candy, and games.
Well, I suppose the kids will have fun, and we'll be doing Chief Gates a good turn.
You bet. We'll notify the judge and Peavy, and everybody will have a great time. You'll take some money out of the treasury and buy prizes for the best costumes.
Hey, you can wrap some vines around your neck and win a prize. You got a head like a pumpkin. You're only kidding, Commish.
It's going to be quite a night. All the Jolly Boys went for my idea. I don't know what they'd do without me. It's only 5 o'clock. Hardly dusk yet. Are the black cats out already? Yeah, but that's Leroy behind the hedge. I'll sneak around the other side and take him by surprise. Kids can't wait until dark to scare somebody. Well, I'll turn the tables on him. Yipe! Leroy!
Hi, Unc. Sorry I come and thought I'd scare you.
Well, you didn't. What are you doing with those batteries behind the hedge?
I got an electric wire running to the front doorknob, but it isn't working.
Oh? What's it supposed to do?
Oh, it's a neat trick for tonight. I wire it to somebody's doorknob, then ring the bell and run. When they open the door, they get a shock.
Leroy, come in the house.
Oh, Unc, what for?
Well, I have a much better idea about how you should spend your evening.
Yeah?
Step inside, my boy. Oh!
Hey, now it's working!
Leroy! It's tricks like this I want to talk to you about.
Sorry, Unc.
Well, I'll overlook it this time. Leroy, rather than go running all over town tonight, how would you like to come up to the Jolly Boys Club to a party?
A party?
Yep. We're throwing a party for all the kids. The judge, Peavy, Floyd. We've all chipped in to buy apples and candy and soda pop. All you can eat, and you may win a prize.
Gee, that's keen. Can I play that corny piano, Unc?
Sure. Anything you want to do, Leroy. It's kids' night tonight.
Oh, boy. I'm going to the Jolly Boys. I'm going to take a bath.
He wants to take a bath? This is a better idea than I thought.
Hello, Unky.
Hello, Marjorie.
What's Leroy so excited about?
Well, the Jolly Boys decided to entertain the kiddies this evening.
Oh?
Show them a good time and keep them out of trouble.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Mine.
Unky, Mrs. Winthrop phoned a little while ago.
She did?
Mm-hmm. She's at the country club and wants you to call her there.
Well, I'll call her right away.
Unky, what if she invite you out there tonight?
Well, that'd be a little awkward. And the Jolly Boy... Hello? Will you page Mrs. Winthrop, please? Thank you. Yeah, I wonder if she does want me to join her party. Well, she's too late. Just have to tell her I have other commitments. Just her hard luck. Hello, Paula. This is Throckmorton. Is that Halloween dinner dance? Thanks for inviting me, but... Well, it's like this, Paula. I'll be there. Shh, Marjorie. What's that, Paula? Oh, no. I was going to the Jolly Boys Club, but they'll understand. See you around 8-ish. Goodbye. What a woman.
Uncle Mort, I know you'd rather be with Mrs. Winthrop, but what about your party?
Yeah, Marjorie, the party will go along just the same. I've arranged everything. Jolly Boys will have fun. The kids will have fun. I'm the only one who'll be missing out.
All right, Unky.
Sure. I'll run down to Peavy's and explain that I'm needed elsewhere. After all, I've made my contribution. I sparked the idea. Yo, Leroy, disconnect the door now. Hello, Peavy.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you?
Peavy, about the Jolly Boys' party tonight.
Well, I'm ready for it. I'm here to tell you.
Yes, well,
Look
Peavy.
at this box of favors I have for the kids. False faces, noise makers.
Nice.
Horns. Just listen to this.
Oh, you'll have a lot of fun, Peavy.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Well, hello, John.
Hello, Horace.
Gildy, I saw you come in. I want to find out what costume you're wearing to our party tonight.
Your costume?
Is the water commissioner coming as a big fat mermaid?
Well, Judge, I was about to tell Peavy.
I thought I'd fool everybody and come as a witch.
A witch, Peavy?
Yes, but Mrs. Peavy is using the broom this evening. Her garden club is having a party, too.
Well, whatever we wear, we'll all have a wonderful time. Gildy, you did a splendid thing when you suggested our little party. I congratulate you.
Mr. Gildersleeve's all right.
Well, thank you, fellows. But, as I've been trying to say, I hope you'll all have a good time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend.
How's that?
What's the trouble, Gildy?
No trouble, Judge. And I'm sure you men will understand the situation when I explain.
Well, start explaining.
Well, there's nothing I have to apologize for, Peavy. I've done my duty to the Jolly Boys party. I got it rolling. I'm sending food and favors. If I have to miss the party, it's my loss.
Well, stop beating around the bush and tell us.
Gildy, could it be that you've made a date with Mrs. Winthrop?
Oh, Judge. Well, actually, she made it with me.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
She did, Peavy. She phoned and asked me to join her for the dance. I'm sorry, fellows. Well, got to run. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Peavy, aren't you going to say goodbye to me?
I'm not going to say anything to you, turncoat.
Fellows, I can't go to both parties. Can I help it if I'm wanted in two places at once? It just happens that I'm popular.
Well, now, I would not say that.
Why, George, it's 8 o'clock. I'm doing Paula's party right now. You wonder why it's always so hard to get a collar buttoned in. Oop, you dropped it. Now where'd it go? You must have rolled under the dresser. Uncle
Mort.
Yes, Marjorie?
Bronco and I are leaving now.
You all right, my dear? Wish I was.
Unky, don't forget to lock the garage door.
Yeah, I won't. Everybody's off to their parties but me. Why to leave everything for me to do? Yeah, here's my collar button. What happened to it? Oh, it's a dime. Doorbell, Bertie! Confusion. Yeah, here it is. Phew. Dizzy. Good thing I have one of those snap-on bow ties. I can fix it on the way down to the car. Where's my coat? I can't. I get my arm through this sleeve. My coat's not that tight. Yover. Bertie! Bertie, who sewed my sleeves together?
So that's why Leroy wanted my needle and thread.
Coat sleeves. What a boy.
I'll rip it out, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Thanks, Bertie. Who was at the door?
Another trick-or-treater. Good thing you stocked up with treats.
Well, Halloween's for the youngsters, Bertie.
Yes, sir, and they're sure having fun tonight. Bertie's giving handouts to spooks, black cats, skeletons, and to one boy dressed like a gorilla. I hope that was a boy dressed like a gorilla.
Chances are it was, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gildersleeve, I have to get the scissors for this job.
Well, please hurry, Bertie. I'm late for a very important date.
Yes.
Never mind, Bertie. You get the scissors, I'll get the door. Hope the candy holds out. Well, hello.
Hello.
You're the smallest ghost we've seen. Why'd you bother to ring the bell? Why didn't you just come in under the door?
I'm lost.
Lost? Oh, my goodness. You're awfully small to be out alone, aren't you?
I wasn't alone when I started, but I couldn't keep up.
Well, guess it would be pretty hard to get around in that flour sack. What's your name, little boy?
Mike.
Mike who?
Mike Smith.
You, Smith. Well, there are a lot of those.
There she comes, Miss Gildersleeve. Oh, who's that little fella?
A little lost ghost, Bertie.
Lost?
Yeah.
How'd you get lost, honey?
They ran away from me.
He couldn't keep up with the other kids, Bertie. Yeah, I wonder if I could find them.
Oh, Miss Gildersleeve, you run on to your party. They'll come looking for him.
Yeah, I guess so. What if they don't?
I'll call you at the country club, and I'll call the police.
Well...
Gosh.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, he's scared. Look at the little fella grab you round the legs.
Huh?
Don't you run away from me, too.
No, Mike, you don't need me. Bertie will take good care of you until your friends come back. If they don't find you, the police chief is a pal of mine. He'll get you home. You see, I have a date. You understand, don't you, Mike? Oh, the date can wait.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. There comes a time in the life of almost every homemaker when, for some reason or another, the food budget just won't stretch as far as it should. So let me suggest this. Next time you have budget trouble, let Velveeta be your handy helper. Cook with Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food. You can melt Velveeta for a wonderful, smooth, golden cheese sauce to add to leftover pieces of meat or seafood, or to use in a macaroni or vegetable casserole, or just to pour over plain toast. And this Velveeta sauce is so easy to make. All you do is melt a half pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. Velveeta melts smoothly, perfectly. Then stir in a quarter cup of milk, seasoned to your particular taste, and there you have it. An easy cheese sauce that'll help you with so many budget main dishes. A cheese sauce that'll give those budget meals a wonderful, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And a cheese sauce that'll add new nourishment to your meals, too, because Velveeta is so rich in important food values from milk. And, of course, Velveeta is digestible as milk itself, so your whole family can enjoy it often. Stop at your grocer's tomorrow and get a package or loaf of Velveeta. Remember, for money-saving meals that are nutritious and mighty good-tasting, too, let Velveeta be your handy budget helper. Just be sure you get genuine Velveeta when you buy. It's the cheese food of top quality, and it's made only by Kraft. Earlier this morning, the Great Gildersleeve didn't know how he was going to spend Halloween, so he promoted a party at the Jolly Boys Club. But he ducked out on that when he had a chance to have a date with the attractive Mrs. Winthrop. Then a little lost boy attached himself to the water commissioner.
Now, Mike, how long had you been lost from your little friends when you stopped in here to trick or treat?
I don't know.
Well, we called all the Smiths in the telephone directory. You don't belong to any of them. What's your father's first name?
I don't know.
What's your mother's name?
Mama.
How you make it out, Miss Gildersleeve?
I haven't learned much, Bertie.
What street you live on, baby?
I'm not a baby.
Watch it, Bertie.
Oh, excuse me. Where do you live, Mr. Mike?
He doesn't know, Bertie.
Well, I've only lived there a little while. I want to go home.
Well, we're trying to get you there, Mike.
Hi, Unc. What's going on?
Yo, Leroy, this is Mike.
Hi.
Hello.
Mike was out for tricks or treats and got lost, Leroy.
Yeah?
Poor little fella.
He doesn't know where he lives.
What are we going to do with him? Raise him?
Yeah, we'll find out where he belongs.
How?
I don't know.
I know. I'll call the police station.
I haven't done anything. I'm just lost.
Leroy, I called the chief half an hour ago. Nobody's reported a missing boy.
Maybe he's a girl.
I am not.
Careful. Little ghost has a temper. Leroy, why aren't you down at the Jolly Boys Club with the other kids?
Since you weren't going, I decided to go to Piggy's. I just came home to get my electric doorknob buzzer.
Oh, that.
Mr. Gildersleeve, why don't you take Mike down to the Jolly Boys Club? Maybe his crowd dropped in down there.
Not a bad idea, Bertie. Practically every kid in the neighborhood will be there. Somebody will know who he is.
I know who I am. Where do I live?
Right. I'm doing the best I can. You wait till I get my hat out of the coat closet. Yikes! Leroy! Well, here we are, Mike. That's the Jolly Boys Club right upstairs there where you see the light.
Is that a big bat in the window?
No, that's Judge Hooker. There'll be a lot of kiddies up there. I'm sure some of them will know you.
Mister, you're a nice man to help find me.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it, Mike. And after we get you home, maybe you can help me sometime.
Do you get lost?
Well, I'm afraid I've lost out with my girl. Yeah, let me help you up on my shoulders.
Whee!
Yeah, that's it. I'll take you up the stairs piggyback.
Boy, this is fun.
You bet. Say, I don't hear any noise up there. Wonder what they're doing.
Well, gang, look who's here. The big idea man himself.
Hello, Floyd, Peavy, Judge.
Gildy, I thought you had a date.
Well, Judge, I called it off. I thought I'd better bring this little fellow up to the party.
Time somebody came.
Hello, young man.
Hi, pal.
Hello.
Where are all the kids?
Well, they aren't here.
You straggled up for candy and stuff.
Yeah, but we sang them a couple of songs and they left.
Well, I thought the place would be jumping.
You sure thought up a dud, Commish.
Now, Floyd.
Mr. Gildersleeve, do you know what I think of your idea?
What's this, Peavy? Now, fellows, the party was a good idea. But I guess I just thought of it too late.
And I went to all this trouble to look like a bat.
You didn't have to go to much trouble.
Floyd?
Well, let's give Mr. Gildersleeve's little friend an apple and a noisemaker, and then I'll go home.
Wait a minute. This little fellow is lost.
Lost?
You don't say.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be some children here who'd recognize him. His name's Mike.
Mike who?
Mike Smith.
Yeah, Smith.
You lost, huh, Mike?
Yeah, lost.
Where do you live?
I keep saying I don't know, and I don't.
Well, he's new in town, Floyd. He came to my door just as I was leaving.
Oh, broke up your date, huh? Well, it serves you right for two-timing us Jolly Boys.
Now, Floyd, Gildy's trying to do the right thing.
Well...
Are you hungry, Mike?
I guess so.
Here, have an apple.
Thanks.
And you can fill your pockets with candy.
Thanks.
Be polite, little fellow.
What are you going to do with him, Commish?
Yeah, I don't know. His family isn't listed in the phone book.
Why don't you take the boy to the police station, Gildy?
Gosh.
Judge, the police station ain't no place for a nice little gent like Mike.
I checked with the chief, fellows. Nobody's inquired about a little boy.
Well, it's too early for him to be missed. The kids won't be through soaping windows till about 10 o'clock.
Soaping windows isn't nice.
That's right, Mike.
Well, gee whiz, somebody come up with something. What'll we do with him?
I want to go home.
Okay.
We can take him to my house until we find out where his family is.
Now, let's take him to my house. It's closer.
I want to go home.
You fellas, he rang my doorbell. If we take him any place, we'll take him back to my house.
Well, while you were hashing that out, I'll put on a mask and amuse the boy. Mike, look. How do you like that, Mike?
I want to go home.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Gentlemen, I suggest we take the boy back to Gildy's and conduct the search from there.
Well, let's go. We have to figure out something. Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, maybe it's Chief Gates.
Hello? Yes, Chief.
It is the police department.
You quiet, Judge. What's that, Chief? Yeah, the little fellow's here. You have? Great. What's that? 875 Adams Avenue. We'll take him right over and see if he's the boy. Thanks, Chief. Goodbye.
Buck up, kid. Looks like you're home free.
Well, Mike, the chances are you belong at 875 Adams Avenue.
You think I do?
No doubt about it. Come on now, I'll take you home.
I'm going along, too.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I'm not going to stay here all by myself.
Hey, Commish, what are we going to do with all this Halloween stuff? We got a barrel of it.
That's right. We shouldn't leave it here.
Well, throw it in the car, fellows. We'll divide it later.
Okay.
Your family will be happy to see you, Mike. Do you have any little brothers or sisters?
I don't think so.
What does your father do?
I don't know.
Mike's pretty close-mouthed. He ain't telling nothing.
I don't know nothing to tell.
Well, we'll soon find out something. Come on, then. Pick up the stuff and let's go. I'm sorry the party didn't work out, fellows. I guess we can call it a good Halloween if we get Mike home.
Yeah, it's no fun being lost when you're hardly big enough to find.
Judge, move over a little.
Oh, sorry if I'm crowding you, Gildy.
It isn't that. You're sitting on the marshmallows.
Is that it? I thought your cushions were unusually soft.
What the heck? We got more candy than we know what to do with.
Well, here's Adams Avenue. Isn't this exciting?
If it turns out to be Mike's house, I'm going to blow my horn again.
Does this street look familiar, Mike? Mike?
I believe he's fallen asleep.
He has? Oh, isn't that a picture?
Hey, P, let me hold him, will you?
I'm afraid he'll wake up, Floyd. Look, he's got his arm around my neck.
Look for numbers, fellas.
Here's 875, right on the corner.
Are you sure that's 875? That's the children's home.
The children's home? No kidding.
Yes, it is, Floyd.
Well, let's not just sit here and look at each other. Better see if this is where Mike lives. You wake up the little fellow, Petey.
Yeah, well, Mike. Mikey boy.
You know where you are, Mike?
Am I home?
We think so, my boy.
Mike, do you recognize this house?
Yeah, sure. That's where I live.
Mike, why didn't you tell us you lived with a lot of other little boys and girls?
Nobody asked me.
By George, we didn't.
Never occurred to me.
Can I go in now?
Yeah, of course, Mike. Yeah, I'll take you up to the door.
Okay.
We'd better wait here in the car, Gildy.
You're all right, Judge. Mike, there's a jack-o'-lantern in the window. Must be having a little party.
Yeah, but they don't have very much.
They don't. Oh, by George, they're going to. Judge, Peavy, Floyd, unload the car.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Bring the candy and noisemakers. Bring everything.
Help me with these boxes, Peavy.
Gosh, mister, you really mean it?
You bet. This is going to be the best Halloween we've ever had.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Need a hot lunch in a hurry? Then make grilled sandwiches with Kraft's smooth melting pasteurized processed cheese food, Velveeta.
With golden Velveeta, you can make delicious sandwiches because Velveeta has such a grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And Velveeta makes sandwiches so nourishing, too, because it's rich in important food values from milk. Enjoy a quick, easy lunch of grilled Velveeta sandwiches tomorrow. Just be sure you get the cheese food of finest quality, genuine Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve. And thanks for the party.
Don't mention it, my boy. We had a wonderful time.
So did we. Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, Mike?
I want to tell you something.
You do?
If I ever have a father, I hope he's just like you.
Thank you, Mike. Bless you, my boy. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is partially transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, Arthur Q. Bryan, Tommy Reddick, and Dick LeGrand. Musical composition by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of those famous Kraft quality foods. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
How can you make a sandwich just the way you like it? Easy. Take some bread, some good cold roast out of the icebox, then add a touch of Kraft's prepared mustard. For when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Kraft's mustard makes a sandwich just right. Remember, there are two kinds of Kraft mustard to choose from. Kraft salad mustard, mild and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. With either kind, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft's prepared mustard.
Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life. He's next on NBC.
That is it for this hour. Next hour, we will have Abbott and Costello with more Halloween episodes. Stay tuned.